I found a quote on organizing that was attributed to Marie Kondo, and it goes, "It's human nature to resist throwing something away even when we know we should." Denise Lee, certified professional organizer, certified senior advisor, and coach. Can you relate to that?
Absolutely. People call me because they have trouble letting go of things that they know that they should let go of.
Yeah, it's really difficult to do because it seems like the moment I throw something away, I need it the day later. Never seems to fail. So yes, I know it's a problem, and you really come across it on a daily basis. How does someone become a certified professional organizer?
Well, thank you for asking that. It is indeed a process. It requires a certain amount of experience with working with clients one-on-one, and it requires some study plus taking an exam. Once all of those things are accomplished, then a person um, may be a certified professional organizer.
So are there a lot of you out there?
There are approximately about 400 right now. I'd like to say that we are growing. It is, you know, this credential, certified professional organizer, was established with the client in mind. We wanted to make sure that the client has someone with experience, someone who is going to respect their confidentiality, because as organizers, we are often privy to things that best friends and family do not know about. So it's important to have someone you trust, someone who knows what they're doing, and the credential is reflecting of that.
Oh, that's great. On this podcast, we're focusing on organizing paper. What falls under the broad category of paper?
Well, certainly all the mail that we get every day, the documents that come into our lives, and those are the physical things. But since we have become more of a digital society, certainly there are digital documents too, and those are important to keep track of.
Well, so what are the common mistakes, for lack of a better term, do people make with their paper?
Well, not having a good system in place is number one, or having an incomplete system. Perhaps a system that handles things that need to be kept for a long-term basis, but maybe the stuff that you need to act on, there is no system. Or maybe there is a system for the physical paper and not for the digital world. So that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see. And the second biggest mistake is so afraid to let go of anything. And that ties into what Marie Kondo said. But this is often fear-based, the fear that if I let go of this thing, I'm really going to regret it. There may be some sort of consequence behind letting it go, and I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay that price. So those are two really big reasons that people are afraid of or do not set up paper systems. And then the third is just not trusting themselves, not trusting their memory, that if something isn't sitting out, that if it does get put away, that they're going to remember that it's put away. So there you have it. Those are reasons that people tell me they don't have systems.
Got it. Well, so Denise, then what are a few tips or rules that we can follow to make dealing with paper easier?
So one of the first things is to realize things you have to work on, act on, belong in a whole nother system than the things that you need to hold on to for maybe legal reasons or tax reasons or, for the just document the person or the thing. I'm thinking about like your birth certificate and social security cards. When you hold on to those things, those just you're rarely going to access those things. The things you're going to act on really need a system of their own, and it needs to be in a different place that's super accessible because you're going to act on it. You want to make it easy to get to those things. So that's one tip. Have a separate system for things you act on versus things you need to hold on to for archival reasons. The second system is you don't have to keep everything. Keep in mind that, there are some things you do need to keep: your birth certificate, your marriage certificate, your military discharge papers, and there are things that you don't need to keep. You probably don't need to keep your utility bills going way back. That's certainly something that doesn't need to be kept. A lot of your credit card statements, they probably don't need to be kept unless you have a tax reason to keep these things. You can probably safely discard them. And shredding is a great way to discard these things, by the way, so you don't have someone nefarious getting a hold of your information.
Sure. And what I try to do is I try to scan what's important and then shred what I just scanned so that I can get rid of the paper. But it's not easy. I know that. We're speaking with professional organizer Denise Lee. Denise, I've got one other question for you. As you know, we try to keep these really, really short so that people can enjoy them and move on. But so here's the last question that I have for you today. Is there anything special that seniors should do when it comes to managing their paper?
Yes, this is really important, and that is to share your file system with someone you trust. For instance, it might be a good idea to bring your financial power of attorney in and show that person where everything is kept, how they can access it. So that way, if you are in a position that maybe you can't pay your bills or something needs to be taken care of, but you can't do it, that person can find exactly what is needed without a lot of searching. That is very, very important. And I would also say include that person in on where your passwords are kept, because we all have a digital legacy out there, and you'll want to empower that person for handling those things.
Well, very good information. We appreciate your insight, Denise. What's the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
Well, I can be reached by phone, which is 314-956-2282, or by email, which is denise@clearspaces.org.
Great. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. I also want to thank the audience for listening to this Senior Learning Institute educational moment. At the Senior Learning Institute, we are focused on providing straightforward and unbiased information, the information you need to make the right decision the first time. At no cost to you, we connect older adults and their advocates to the professionals they seek, from aging in place to estate and financial planning, care management, finding the right senior living community, finding a mover, estate sales, junk removal, and of course, selling the house for more, no matter its condition, anywhere in the United States. To learn more, please visit us at theseniorlearninginstitute.com. Until then, I'm Ted Gottlieb, certified senior advisor, seniors real estate specialist, and founder of the Senior Learning Institute.